What's up, everybody? We're drunk as shit, and we got this great idea during one of our breaks that we're just gonna chill out and just talk with you guys, sometimes about random topics, but in this time in particular, we're talking wrestling.
WRASSLIN.
As many of you know, I am a pretty big, in general, wrestling fan, and a lot of my following goes back to our days of me and Wiza doing podcasts together, me doing my own podcast, the old Clean Finish podcast, me doing work with Smalls as well when we did Cut a Check show. And this is the Ashhole, who I kind of brought back into wrestling. She would be deemed your quote-unquote casual fan, if you will. But I still think brings a very interesting and insightful insightful sight into wrestling in general. So we just wanted to kind of just lay back
Just
and
do a little chat.
let's do a little chat and,
chit-chat.
and drink. Drinking is always a good thing.
Little squared circle chit chat.
We love squared circle chit chat. We always love drinking and talking some wrestling. So you were just talking about Becky a minute ago.
I was talking about Becky.
She's the thing that you said you equated her a little bit to Stone Cold.
Yeah. So when you got me to start watching again.
Yes.
I think
there was no that Becky didn't exist.
Right.
Yet.
I think that was around the time that they were kind of writing her off to do that movie.
Yes.
And so she was just not there. And then she comes back and the music hits and I'm going like, oh, well, that's good returning music, but otherwise, who is this person? I don't care.
Yeah.
And you would mention like, oh, I like Becky. I'm like, I don't get it. And now, with this whole the man thing, she's one of my favorites. And she's amazing. And like I was telling you earlier, when I was a kid, I was all into Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think people can go a little overboard with comparing her to Stone Cold.
To be fair, okay, I'll be fair to you at this point. When Dean Ambrose first got hot, like, On Fire was the most over thing on the program, and that's why I bought that Dean Ambrose shirt. He got the Stone Cold comparisons.
And I never saw that.
And you never saw it, so I say that, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I imagine in your head you're just kind of like,
I've only seen, what I have seen was he got injured and was gone. He had the...
Which is funny because
everyone's expecting the heel turn, and then Roman Reigns' cancer announcement, and then he does it that night. And then they lost it.
Oh, yeah, no.
That night was cool, and then they just lost it.
They completely botched it. Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm still like, I don't get it still, because they botched him there.
Right.
So I still don't get it. But Becky is the closest to that excitement that I had as a kid watching Stone Cold.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go too far comparing the two, but that excitement of, like, she turns up and, like, oh, what is she going to do?
Yeah.
Is very exciting.
And it's even better because it's, like, it's a female wrestler who's doing this.
Yeah, and I do have a preference, and you know this.
Yeah.
With the women wrestlers, because I grew up with Sable, so it's just exciting to see good wrestling with women, and I haven't lost that excitement, even though I've been watching like a year. I'm still like, oh my god, this is great.
Right. It's not like, oh, the women are wrestling, great, bra and panties match. Like we've gotten past that point, at least in WWE.
Yeah.
I'll always be fair to different. Like I said, if anybody's going to call anybody a smart here, they're probably going to call me the smart, which is fine. I don't necessarily care. But you look at PWG, you look at the Joshis in Japan, you look at most other organizations, they've been ahead of the game way past WWE at this point. You look at Shimmer.
Not surprising to hear.
Right. You look at Shimmer. You look at I can't remember what Australia's women's wrestling program is called, but there are a lot of different programs already that have existed and let women wrestlers just fucking wrestle and put on great matches. It's just that WWE has finally gotten up to the point, and they're popularizing it.
It's kind of wild to me. You know, WWE's doing this whole, like, women's revolution thing, which is, just let them wrestle. Stop making it a big deal. But they keep doing that, you know, it's all about women in sports. We're doing this because that it's women, it's you know, tennis, it's MMA.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot bring themselves to admit other wrestling companies were doing it before them. They can't admit that women's wrestling was doing this, so we had to catch up.
It is super ironic that they're doing the women's revolution and they're the last ones to catch up to it. To the idea that, oh shit, women's wrestling can sell? Like, people have known who Candice LeRae is for the longest time. If you're a wrestling fan, you know who Candice LeRae is.
I knew that name. I'd never seen her until she showed up in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But I still knew the name.
Right.
I heard the name. People are like, oh, Candice LeRae. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but cool.
Yeah, before she's kind of gotten the label as Johnny Gargano's wife.
Well, because she's coming into NXT and he was there first.
Right, he was there first, yeah, which is understandable. She was the girl who did the awesome shit where she would take like so she did this one spot in PWG where she took a super kick to the face with thumbtacks and bled.
I think I might have heard about it. I didn't know it was
if
a
you've
super
heard
kick,
about
but
it,
I heard about thumbtacks in her face, so it's probably that.
That's her. If you've heard about, she would occasionally, like the bigger thing that she would used to do and the people would go crazy for, she would always wrestle the guys, always wrestle with Joey Ryan.
Did she do like some intergender like tag wrestling?
That's so. If you've ever heard of the Ballsplex,
yeah, I don't like Joey Ryan, but
well, that's I know why, but the Ballsplex, she would suplex guys by the balls and just drop them straight on their head, but suplex them from the balls. She used to do what's called the Ballsplex. She also did this move to the out. She would also do like diving DDTs, like spinning DDTs through the fucking ropes to the outside.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like you would see that and you'd be like, dude, that's fucking like awesome. Like there are guys who won't do that.
Yeah.
At all. And she would just like way thinner than most of these guys would just go and throw her fucking body out there and do all these awesome like sick shit.
That is awesome.
And that's why people got attached to her. It wasn't necessarily just because, I mean, it was awesome that she was a woman. It was an added bonus to it, but it was also
doing crazy stuff.
She could hang.
Yeah.
Yeah. She could hang, and that's why people liked it. And people realized, oh, shit, women
Well, isn't that kind of, I mean, WWE is not going to do proper intergender wrestling.
No, they're never going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
You're never going to actually see a guy wrestle.
But aren't the women wrestlers in WWE that are the most fun to watch the ones that you could also believe could hang with the men?
Yes. Like
that, I'm not going to doubt Becky Lynch or Asuka or Charlotte wrestling a man. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Do it.
I could buy... I'll give you an example.
I'm not going to buy Mandy Rose fighting a man, though.
No. If you gave me Asuka versus, like, Daivari... Listen, you could probably put Asuka versus Hideo Itami, I believe.
I was going to say, who's Daivari?
205 Live.
Oh, yeah, I don't watch that. Casual here. Casual.
You could probably even do, like, Asuka versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Just because of weight class.
You know,
weight-wise, you could do those two together.
No. You know who could fight with Asuka? Well, not anymore, not after WrestleMania with Charlotte. But before that, you could have done this intergender match, and I don't know who would win, based on I don't know who WWE would want to win. Streak versus Streak. Asuka versus Goldberg.
So there was a joke for a while, and we did this for a while, Asuka versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't give a shit about Brock Lesnar.
The problem is that Brock is actually weight classes way outside of her. Yeah. So that could never happen.
See, I like the idea of intergender wrestling, but I do think there's an element
of
based
weight
on
that you have to,
Like, I don't want to see, as extreme examples, Braun Strowman versus Alexa Bliss. I don't want to see that. That's not...
I nearly spit out my drink. Sorry.
That's not, like, a thing.
No, that's terrible.
But you can take a guy who's, like, shorter than, like, Braun and built, and it's like, okay, we can handle that. Because, I mean, wrestling's fantasy. There's already that, like, you do more there than MMA to begin with.
Braun versus Alexa should end with just one power slam, 10 seconds, and it's over.
It'd be Mortal Kombat. Her head would pop off.
Yes.
That's why, like, you can't have that.
You can't have that.
You could do, if you must, with Alexa Bliss, Noam Dar.
I don't even know if I can buy her versus Noam Dar.
She's very tiny.
She's very tiny.
She's like 5 inches shorter than me. Mm-hmm. And I am completely...
Not only very tiny, but not that skilled.
No.
That's another part of it. It's like, it's not just weight. Like, that's why I can believe, like...
Well, that's why,
even though weight-wise,
Asuka
Daniel Bryan has an advantage, I can buy Asuka versus Daniel Bryan.
Because there's that talent.
Because there's the talent there.
Yeah, the athletic talent.
Yes.
I do enjoy Alexa Bliss as an example of what works in wrestling. There's the athletic talent, and there's all the other stuff.
She's a good combination.
Yeah. She's not completely useless in the athletics. Mm-hmm. So she's not as strong there. But she can hold her own enough.
Yeah.
What's the I hated it, but is it Elimination Chamber, and she was the champion at the time?
Yeah.
And she was the last one to come out, which worked in character.
Yeah, I know.
It protected her, but also worked with her character to not want to come out. Mm-hmm. But then when she... I mean, it was botched, but it still looked good when she did her main move.
The Sparkle Splash.
Is that what it's called?
It is called the Sparkle Splash.
Oh, no.
I will show you. Okay, so
I don't like it as much now with that name.
When we're done with this, I will explain to you why it's called
But
that.
when she hit
the Sparkle
Sasha,
Splash. With the Sparkle Splash.
Because she did it all
Call it
high.
the Sparkle Splash, please and thank you. It's the Sparkle Splash.
So but when she did it, at certain angles you could tell it wasn't done properly. Mm-hmm. But it was still, like, I was still going, like, I'm not even, like, a huge fan, but I was like, oh my god, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, you're a tiny person doing this. So yeah, that's not her strong suit, but she can do it well enough, and her mic work is second to none, really.
You need people like Alexa
Except
Bliss.
For that moment of bliss thing that they got going for her. Now
oh no, I'm so glad it's over. It's
so
done.
Bad.
It's done. It's so bad. It's terrible.
I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown this week, so because casual.
I mean, shit. At this point, I'm more casual than you are. You tell me things happening, and I'm like, I found about this on Twitter.
So
I didn't even watch.
I didn't watch this week, but the last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tell them about this. I decided to. Now I watch Raw on Hulu, so I know what they don't give a shit about because they cut it.
Yeah.
So I decided to watch Raw and SmackDown back to back. Had to get myself some drinks, and Raw made me so angry that I became Brian Alvarez over text.
That is hilarious. It's very true.
I was losing my mind,
mm-hmm.
and I much preferred SmackDown. Except the last, 30 minutes were terrible.
By the way, I'm glad that you now understand why Brian Alvarez and Vinny Verhey get angry over this shit.
Yeah, so when I first came across them, it was, I was, playing The Sims, and I wanted, background noise.
Yeah.
And so I would put on their TNA, their old TNA stuff.
Which is the hilarious shit to listen to.
And it was pretty funny, but I was also like...
Why is he this angry?
Brian, No, that wasn't my issue. My issue was Brian's a dick to Vinny. Vinny doesn't deserve this.
Right, but you didn't understand.
And I angrily text you Brian's a dick.
I'm like,
there's no reason to be that mean to Vinny.
I'm like, no, you don't. You got to actually see it.
To this day, I still occasionally have to take breaks for him because he's being a dick to Vinny, and there's no reason.
Oh no, he will do that. He will be a dick. But there's also a working relationship there.
Oh, sure, it works for them, but as a viewer, nope.
As a viewer, I don't want that. I can understand why, you're turned off by it.
Especially because sometimes Brian's freaking out and talking over Vinny, and the next week Vinny brings up a similar thing.
Yeah.
And Brian's like, no, it's not important. It was important
it was important then, yeah.
I have problems with those sorts of things.
Yes. Which is completely fair.
And it's funny. They did a series of 4 or 5 things with this gangsta wrestling promotion, the Hood something. That was funny.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hoonie! That was a good one.
I gotta talk about that off stream. I can't talk about it off stream.
I was doing Sudoku puzzles listening to that. That was a good one.
Oh, man.
I guess most casual people aren't aware of like Brian Alvarez though, so I'm not.
That's
weird,
fine. Yeah.
like...
She's a weird mix of like casual, but because I introduced her into it, she knows a little bit more than most people.
Like technically, I subscribe to Wrestling Observer, but I also don't memorize all this shit and what people are up to, and I'm like, dude, just entertain me.
Yeah.
And then I watch. And all of the people that they say, like all the wrestlers that are there, that they say, they're there because the casual fans want them there. And that's why they buy tickets. I don't like any of them. I didn't like Roman Reigns. I don't like Brock Lesnar. I don't give a shit about Raw because none of the championships matter on Raw.
Ronda Rousey, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Ronda Rousey recently just said that...
This is my Ronda Rousey face.
It's kind of how I felt about her too. This whole time.
I will say I'm very impressed with how quickly she's picked up on things.
Yes,
I will 100%
as a performer, she's excellent.
I'm very impressed.
She is, yes.
As a viewer, I don't care. I do not care about the character they have for her, the weird makeup thing they got going on there.
It's so weird.
Her promos, nope, none of it works for me. And then you got her and Brock as the top champions.
Yeah.
You had to remind me last week who the Raw Tag Team Champions were.
Yeah, and even then you were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And I like Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, and I forgot they were the champions.
Yeah, I'm like, no, they're the champions.
That's a problem.
Do you know who the champions were before them?
Nope. Wait.
Who did they take the belts off of?
Oh no, was it AOP?
It was
they had
AOP.
that dumb pink. AOP was so cool in NXT, and they fucked them.
And they gave him a peeing gimmick. So I'll show you.
They keep going, should we flirt with the Attitude Era? And then they take the worst parts of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. So this is what she...
What is it?
I don't want to know what that article even means. But,
I definitely saw it. Nikki Bella on a pole match imminent?
Damn it, you said it. I was just like, I didn't want you to.
People are going to question.
We'll see it later. But
I don't need to see it because I don't care about Nikki Bella.
And I don't either, but you talked about it. They're not going to see it.
Yeah, but they see us looking at something. Now, if you are interested, type that into Google. Maybe you'll find it. It's
all right. Have fun
malware.
with your Nikki Bella on a pole match. I don't...
It sounds like some Vince Russo shit.
No, I'm curious.
Don't
now.
click it.
No,
oh.
you. Things are getting pretty well for him already. And his biggest crush is Nikki Bella. Okay.
Oh, I've heard about this on Twitter. There's that MMA guy who has a crush on Nikki Bella, and they're like flirting over Twitter, and it's stupid.
I mean, she wants to get pregnant and have kids. I mean, there you go. Cassini ain't doing that shit.
Hey, the link. That late WCW era classic, the Judy Bagwell on a pole match. They made the reference that I made when you clicked on it.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Okay, so what was this Ronda Rousey thing, though? Why does she matter?
She said, the goal is not to be champion. Roddy Piper's son taught me a very important lesson, and he said it doesn't matter. The belts don't matter. No, fuck you, they do. Fuck you, they do.
She doesn't have a story. She just has a belt.
No, fuck you, they do. Fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you, they do.
No. WWE belts very rarely matter, but they should.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. They should matter. They don't often.
Here's the thing.
And Ronda Rousey saying that it's about the story, not the belt, she can believe that all she wants. They're not writing her that way.
So here's the thing that pisses me off. Mm-hmm. This one got 21 recommendations. This one, mine got 3.
Oh,
no wrestler ever should say belts don't matter. I'm sorry. If you are a wrestler and you are in the company, you should never say the belts don't matter.
I agree, but this is the most you've ever sounded like Jim Cornette. I approve.
This actually pissed me off. This legit pissed me off.
Belts should matter.
Belts.
That's the thing.
I don't give a shit. If you're a wrestler in the company, the belts fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
Go to any other sport.
It's supposed to matter.
And tell me the championships don't matter. Tell me it doesn't. Tell me that wins don't matter. Wins and losses don't matter. In any other sport, you would ridicule them if they ever said that. And he gets, I get your point to agree,
No.
but Jake the Snake Robert never held a title in WWE. DiBiase only held the tag team titles later, and he created a title. Piper himself, okay, listen.
Wait, no.
That does not mean that the belts don't matter.
Finish reading it.
All three of those guys are widely regarded as some of the biggest stars of that era. Okay.
Here's my issue with that statement.
Go ahead.
Back in those days,
Mm-hmm.
you have Hogan, who is blah, 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 I must have this belt.
You know, the biggest star in that era?
So you have all of these now considered legends.
Yes.
Who didn't get belts. That's not how they write it these days.
No.
At the time, it was hard to get a belt.
Yeah, it was hard.
They're like, oh, it's been 5 years. Let's give Randy Orton a belt.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're not a Grand Slam champion? Here's the U.S. title now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that is a point, but things have changed so much that we're not going to remember the people who were only IC champ. We're Piper, IC champ. Oh, we're not going to remember that person these days.
And here's my
only get the IC champ one time.
And here's my issue with this point as well.
One.
They're completely missing over what I said as the comment, especially when you are the champion. Because Ronda Rousey is the champion.
And she's saying the belt.
You have the belt. As the champion, you cannot say that your belt doesn't matter. Your belt matters.
I think
you are champion.
I think one way to do that, to drive story, is if you were the champ, you lose the belt.
Yeah.
And you're going to enter a feud that is not for the belt.
That's different, though.
You might say, one day I'll get back to that. But right now I'm focused on this person.
That's different.
That doesn't fuck over the belt.
But here's the thing, and that's why I said afterwards, championships are the driving point of the entire industry. They drive stories. They drive rivalries.
You would think.
Yes, it's a ridiculous statement to ever say that belts don't matter.
I don't think anyone...
No one with a brain.
I agree with your comment.
Yeah.
Also, no one with a brain would believe anything Ronda Rousey says about wrestling.
That's fair.
She has come in. She's doing very well for what she's doing. But why would you listen to her?
But that's the thing that aggravates me about this. I'm like, how does this person get 21 wrecks for this?
They might be...
For just saying that... Listen,
I don't know.
Jake the Snake, DiBiase, and Piper, but you're also listing people that have held championships.
That's a person who knows history but doesn't understand connections.
Right. They're taking a point in time and saying these things happen. But okay, but you're telling me Jake the Snake never wanted a championship?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Piper never wanted a championship?
Yeah.
Are you saying DiBiase literally created his own title?
You can say...
Why did he create his own title?
Yeah.
Oh, because he wanted a championship.
You can list those facts, but you have to connect it to where it is now.
Right.
They are writing now where it's pretty fucking easy to get a belt.
Yeah, it's easy as fuck to get a championship.
I mean, they gave AOP the Raw Tag Team belt.
And took that shit off of him within the month.
For no good reason and fucked it up, so then they had to take the belts off of them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what they're doing with belts right now.
It's so frustrating.
I mean, what was last week when I watched SmackDown? The best match was Andrade versus Rey. There's no belt in there. It was just a really good match and a really good thing that got going on. And I do believe it is important to have matches and rivalries outside of the belts to help drive it.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of sad when that was the best thing on SmackDown. Where were the belts on SmackDown? What was going on in SmackDown?
Right.
Also kind of, where were the tag teams on SmackDown? God, they do not appreciate their tag team division. That's a major issue I have with WWE.
Which is weird because like SmackDown's tag team division is actually better than Raw's right now.
Absolutely,
they have the better teams.
Yeah,
but
they have
what are they
really
doing
good
with them?
teams on SmackDown.
Daniel Bryan's doing some really interesting shit with the WWE Championship.
I am getting really tired of being like, oh, these people got up from NXT. I hope they go to SmackDown because they're gonna get completely ruined.
I know, no.
Like, odds of being ruined on SmackDown are still 50-50.
Mm-hmm. They
go to Raw, and I'm like, oh, you have a 10% chance.
I love that you're at that point because I was at that point 3 years ago.
I was
3-4 years ago. I was just like, oh man, I was excited. I was just like, NXT's getting hot. We got like great talent. We got like Kevin Owens and all these guys. I can't wait until they come up. Oh shit, Kevin Owens, the NXT champion at the time.
That's how good NXT is.
Yeah.
Because it's still in that place of,
right.
There's so many good people.
He came up with the fucking belt and put it up in front of John Cena. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then he beat John Cena the first time. I'm like, fuck yeah! He fucking beat John Cena. That's fucking big. And then John Cena beats him 2 times in a row. And then sure, he gets
the momentum going on.
It's just like, I mean, yeah. And then Kevin Owens is just a guy now. And
unfortunately, like, you mentioned the number one person that I have go away heat with.
Listen.
And you know this.
It's Kevin Owens.
You know I hate Kevin Owens.
You hate Kevin Owens. I get it.
I hate Kevin Owens so much that he bought me a Kevin Owens figurine, and I keep promising to destroy it.
She's not joking.
I hate that guy. I appreciate what he's doing.
Yes.
There's that weird, proud factor of, you're doing what you love. Mm-hmm. But, he comes on my screen, I go make a sandwich. I don't care. I'm like, oh, this is my bathroom break.
You get in the kitchen to make a sandwich, huh?
I'm okay with Sami Zayn. He's fine.
Okay.
I have no issue with Sami Zayn. It didn't help that when I started watching, it was Kevin Owens and kind of Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon and kind of Daniel Bryan.
To be fair,
you're not going to help me like someone by having them get Shane McMahon because I'm like, Shane... Mm-hmm. Go away.
To be fair, Sami Zayn as a babyface was excellent in NXT.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. I think he did that very well.
His rise was amazing. I loved it. And I loved how even when he won the championship in NXT,
against
here's this
Neville, right?
Neville, yep. Yeah. Here's this dick, Adrian Neville, excuse you.
It's Pac now.
He used to have a full name. It's now Pac, yes. He wins the championship, and he's there. He sees his old friend. They had rivalries all together. Him, Kevin Owens, and they sit there, they hug, and they walk back up. And
the night that Kevin Owens debuted?
Yes.
Even better.
That was what it was.
That is good storytelling.
Kevin Owens debuted, and he wins the championship, and Kevin Owens goes with him arm in arm. He's just like, hey, you did it, man. You did so good. He goes and takes him and fucking throws him straight to the back. Like, imagine if right now I threw you straight through this green screen and just beat the shit out of you and then powerbombed you straight onto his desk. So, spine first, right on here.
Really cute that you're assuming I'm the babyface here.
Oh, are you gonna powerbomb me through this desk?
No, I'm just saying that it's your channel, but I'm the babyface. I'll take it.
Oh fuck, you're right.
That's what I meant. People are coming at.
To be fair, they know I'm kind of an asshole a little bit.
You're a bit of a dick.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Just the tip.
But also, my understanding is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they had this long history on the indies of being friends and turning against each other. So, in NXT fans, from what I understand,
yes,
are going to be more aware of what have happened on the indies. So, when Kevin Owens comes up, they're already going to be like, which is it going to be the friendly or the feud?
So, here was the thing. They did a great job in production, and this was amazing when they did it. The show was winding down. Mm-hmm. The logo comes up at the bottom where it's just NXT, and it's just oh, they're actually going to go out. It's over.
No, I did see this clip.
Oh, you
And it's the whole, celebration. And
they did the celebration.
You think it's over because the credits
It's over because the credits are starting.
And you're like, okay. And as you're about to turn it off because, it's over.
I'm dead serious. I bought it. I bought it. I completely bought it at the time. Yeah. I was just like, oh shit, they're actually Sami just write it out. Okay.
And then,
all right.
Boom.
Cool. Awesome.
And you're like, oh, it's
And then it's
Kevin
nope,
Owens.
I'm going to ruin your dreams. I was like, damn, I can't believe they really did that.
All right, question for you.
Okay.
I don't want to go too specific with the math here.
I don't care.
So in the last year, and that's what I meant by not too specific. It doesn't have to be 12 months exactly.
Okay.
In the last year, who has debuted on the main roster that they have just messed up the most? Because I have a number one person that comes to my mind, and it's not that they should have been the top in the company. It's just what they could have been was just oh no, you've ruined it.
I'm really just tempted. In last year, and
that's why I said don't get too stuck on the year thing, because I'm not who debuted when.
Recently, who debuted? At least within somewhere around the year.
Since the last, for sure. If we do in the last year.
Can we do year and a half?
Okay. Because I was going to say, we could either do in around the last year, which would be Riot Squad.
Uh-huh.
Which is a little past that. It would be slightly over a year.
Yeah.
Or we could do like WrestleMania. After that, they have their big debuts of people. So anything in any of that would be fine.
Chad Gable. They fucked him up so hard.
When did he debut? He was there with Shelton Benjamin when I started.
No. Excuse me. He debuted with Jason Jordan.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, by the time I started watching, he was already on SmackDown with Shelton Benjamin. So when did he debut?
Let's find
It
out.
might be a little late. Because I started watching, like, November of last year.
The 2016 WWE draft. Holy shit.
That's a bit late.
That is late.
That doesn't
Okay.
count.
Never mind. I can't use them.
Do you want to hear mine? It's not that this
Go with yours first, and then I'll see if I can find someone
It's not that
worse.
this person would have been the top.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have used them very well and then gotten to them to the top, to the belt or whatever.
Okay.
But they squandered it. Ember Moon.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, because Ember Moon just feels like anybody.
Yeah. And Ember
Moon feels like anybody.
Was a champ who mattered in NXT. And then when she had her, like, oh my gosh, she's in the Royal Rumble, and she's, like, going in against Asuka there as that reference to their good NXT matches. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
And then she debuts, and I was so excited for her. I was like, oh my god, Ember, yes! Because what else did you have to do in NXT? And she's just there. I was like, what? I'm not even saying she needed to have the belt, but you could have made her matter.
Do you want to know? Okay. I don't. It's not the talent that I would pick for this category of what you're saying. I feel like people are going to hate me for this
Well,
one.
you don't have to, or not you, but they don't have to be the best in the world to be squandered.
They're definitely not.
I mean, AOP is squandered.
They're
not the best in the world.
Can I give you a weird one I think they squandered?
Absolutely.
Baron Corbin.
Interesting.
They fucked him up so bad.
I can see that.
So here's why.
If you mean
When
by
he was
the
debuted,
push that they're doing,
the push that they're doing with him
tried?
is so weird. I don't understand what they're doing with him at all.
I think
I don't understand why he became GM.
Don't do the all that storyline's messed up. Let's just take his physicality.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great, what is it, U.S. title on SmackDown and Intercontinental on Raw?
Mm-hmm.
He'd be good in that scene.
Yes.
As, like, the bad guy in that scene, I think he could do that very well.
He has that potential, and that's what they did with him in NXT. So...
He should be interesting because he's fast but tall, which should make him different.
Right. And he's not necessarily the greatest wrestler ever, but here was the thing that they had with him. He had a fucking awesome finisher.
What was his finisher?
The End of Days?
Bruh, I've been watching
Time. I have to... Okay, no, hold on. Pause here. I need to show her The End of Days. By the way, you know who that is?
Based on the title, I'm going to say CJ Parker.
That is... Yes, but do you know who that is now?
CJ Parker is Juice Robinson.
Yes!
I recognize Juice Robinson.
He used to be a jobber in NXT.
Aww. Alright, so he's been showing me Baron Corbin's NXT finisher.
Yes, so you see in The End of Days...
What did they do to him? I've never seen him on the main roster do anything that cool.
So you've never even seen The End of Days. That was your first time seeing it.
If he's done it, and I've watched him, he didn't do it that awesomely.
Wow. So that was the thing. Everybody popped for him because he had this cool as fuck finisher.
I'd be less bored by him if he was doing it all
If all he did was just End of Days people.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of the coolness of it is his face when he does it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. You just make sure to do your face when you do it.
Yeah.
Man, I've been bored of him for a year.
She also found out that CJ Parker is Juice Robinson.
Well, so I knew Juice Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he used to work for WWE.
She just didn't know.
I just didn't know it was CJ Parker.
So do you know what CJ Parker's gimmick was in NXT? Or Juice Robinson's gimmick was in NXT?
Weird white guy who's probably into Jamaican culture.
No.
On the treads.
Nope. Not even close. Actually, maybe close. He was
the weed.
No, he was a protect the planet guy.
Close enough.
Go green.
Close enough.
He was just like.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like Daniel Bryan's gimmick, but done poorly.
I don't trust white people with dreads.
I don't think Juice Robinson's white.
Is he not?
I'm positive he's black.
What?
I'm positive. We can look it up right now. I'm positive Juice Robinson's black. You said you don't trust white guys with dreads, and I was like,
you are black and I'm not. So
I'm pretty sure he's pretty black.
Looking at him, I would guess white.
Nah, that's a black dude.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's a black dude, yeah. That's not a white dude with dreads. That's a black guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. Because he looks like me when I have a tan, of course.
He's light. Don't get me wrong.
I am also black.
Don't get me wrong. He's a light-skinned, black dude. But he's just, I'm positive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's from fucking Illinois. Joliet, Illinois.
Oh, my God. Am I older than that guy?
No,
he's born in April, so he's a couple months older than me.
Just a couple. Yeah. No, that's a black dude. Yeah. No, he's not white.
That's a weird thing that's been happening to me lately. Realizing I'm like the same age or older than people.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you look at that.
Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty face.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, but
I mean, I don't watch New Japan. But he does some Ring of Honor, right? Is he still doing the briefs, or is he doing some pants?
No, he's got pants now.
I feel like, I was about to say, I feel like I've seen him in pants more.
So you know what his new thing is now in Ring of Honor, right?
Lifeblood?
Yes.
Well, there's only reason.
I know. There's only one reason why you're paying attention.
There's only one reason I know about Lifeblood, and it's Tennille Dashwood.
Yes. It's awesome. I love it.
I'm intrigued what they do with it.
Same. Yeah, I know, because I'm
gonna see. I feel like a lot, and let's take New Japan out of the equation because I don't watch it, and based on what I'm gonna say, I think they do get it right. Between like WWE, Ring of Honor, probably TNA, but I don't watch that. Well, whatever it is now, Impact.
Yeah.
They don't do factions well.
New Japan?
Not New Japan.
I was going to say, no, New Japan usually does factions well.
I don't watch New Japan, and I've heard they do them well, so let's take New Japan out.
Yeah.
Let's take these American...
They typically don't do factions well.
They don't do factions well, and let's not put the Elite in there, because that started New Japan.
The Elite... those motherfuckers started a fucking wrestling company.
I mean, NXT had... Sanity was fun. And boy... That's not gonna go well. Sanity's on SmackDown, and when's the last time we saw them? This is the
honestly,
first
I can't remember.
time Nikki Cross is coming up to the main roster, and normally I go, I hope you get to SmackDown so I can at least see you.
And now you're like, oh god, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe you should go to Raw, because if you go to SmackDown, they might try to put you with Sanity, and that's not gonna work.
Here's the thing.
Because they messed it up already.
Here's the thing. Anybody who gets called up from NXT, just... You have them stay in NXT as long as possible.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
I'm scared.
That's the problem.
Here's who I'm scared for.
You want them in NXT, but you know the money is better on the main roster. Even
you know
if
who
they're
I'm scared.
buried on the main roster.
That's the thing. I want them to make their living and make their money.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm really scared for? Fucking like Ricochet. Undisputed Era, fucking Velveteen Dream. Oh, God forbid Velveteen Dream.
I was gonna say, Velveteen Dream is in a much more precarious position than
Velveteen
either
Dream. If Velveteen Dream gets to the main roster, he's gonna be a jobber. Immediately.
I don't wish
he'll be doing funny gimmick shit.
I don't wish for people's deaths.
I don't either.
I'm not gonna do that whole like when Vince dies thing, because no, we're not going there.
Right.
Maybe Vince is busy with his football thing that he wants to do.
I hope he gets really busy with the XFL.
In that case, Velveteen Dream might be fine.
Yeah.
If Vince is sitting there calling the shots, Velveteen's going to be messed up. And he's a great character. He is a good way. Like, he can do heel or face very easily. And as
Vince has always been looking for these gray area characters. Here's one. Yeah.
And as long as you don't mess up the booking... You're good, but I think Vince looks at that and goes, gay.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be buried. It's going to be like, I mean, Velveteen Dream is very talented. Very young and very talented. And
kid's like 25 years old, and...
Is he even 25?
I think he might be.
He's very young. But he has so many places to go, and that you can't...
Oh my god, he's 23!
I knew it.
Holy fuck?
Yeah, he's a youngin'. He's so talented for that age.
He should be on the main roster, like, now.
Yeah.
And he's 23.
Now, the nice thing is, he's young enough, they might be able to keep him down in NXT a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that might not be the wrong call for his lengthy career.
Yeah.
Because you can't convince me that Vince McMahon looks at him and doesn't screw him over.
Right.
And you also can't convince me with their, 25, 30 writers that they can actually tell Vince, no, that's a bad idea, and he listens to them.
Yeah.
That's also the problem.
It's a big problem. Let's go ahead and close out our little thing that we're doing here. Let's wrap up with Royal Rumble picks that we have.
Okay.
Just based on what we know in WWE.
That's coming up.
It's a thing that's coming up.
Wait, what's all happening?
I don't know any. Here's the thing. I don't know any of the rumors either, so I don't know.
No, I have zero rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know. Okay, we know Asuka and Becky are facing off.
Yes.
I legitimately have no idea who will win there.
I don't either.
And that's how I love it. I love it when I act like it's realistic enough to be like, I don't know.
Yeah. When it's not like, because, WWE loves their 50-50 booking.
Oh,
no one is a star.
That.
Everyone is the same.
Yeah.
Now
this one works because they are both stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who will win. And as long as they don't fuck it, either one could win.
Yeah.
And it could work.
Who do you have for the women's? Who do you have for the men's?
The Rumbles?
I'm thinking right now, too, because I'm
like, who is...
I put you on the spot,
but
I'm
like...
like...
Who is even in these Rumbles? Oh, no.
I'll go first.
I started thinking about I started with the women's. I was like, who's in the women's Rumble? And I was like, oh, God, it's WWE's Queen.
I don't think Alexa Bliss is going to win.
No. No. That's not the name I came across.
Mandy Rose isn't going to win.
No, Charlotte's in it.
Charlotte's not going to win. I don't think she's going to win. You know who I think is actually going to win? I think they're probably going to do a brand switch for this person.
Okay.
I think there's a good chance for me. I think that there's a possibility that someone who you thought got overlooked a lot will get in. And I think Ember Rose. I say Ember Rose. Ember Moon could win this. I think she could.
That would be amazing.
I think that would be a genuine surprise because then.
Well, because she's been so kind of over. Like, okay, they say, oh, it's Ember Moon. She's important. She's a face, but they don't treat her that way.
No. You want to treat her that way? Here you go. Pay her off with a Royal Rumble victory.
She's got wins and stupid tag matches that don't matter, which means the wins don't matter.
Which means, nothing matters. Yeah.
I would be totally happy with that.
But you think it's going to be Charlotte? Which is reasonable.
If they want this idea of the three-way.
I think that you can get that without the Rumble, though. That's the thing.
You can. There's a few ways of going about this. Mm-hmm. But if they want the Mania three-way between Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, one way of doing that is Becky wins, Ronda wins, Charlotte wins at the Rumble. Now, I know I've seen some people say that they want Becky to lose and then go into the Rumble and win the Rumble.
I've heard that one too.
I mean, that'd be badass to see, but I'm not expecting it because, okay, this is wrestling. You can get injured. That could get messed up very easily.
To be fair, this is also the same company that decided that Daniel Bryan couldn't enter the Rumble, and people really wanted Daniel Bryan in that Rumble.
Okay, can my pick for the women's Rumble be as the casual fan? The casual fan who doesn't give a shit about what Vince and anyone wants.
Fuck what
and
Vince
doesn't
thinks.
Care
who do you want to win?
And doesn't care about the smarts.
Who do you want? Because I want Ember Moon to win. Who do you want to win?
Kairi Sane.
Ah, that's an interesting one.
They will never do this. They will never do this.
To debut her and have her win the Rumble.
Yeah. She will be just familiar enough for just main roster people because she was in the Rumble last year.
Yep.
And what else really does she have to do in NXT?
Nothing.
The problem is they never bring up NXT people and make them strong.
No.
But
they bring them up and they're just a pawn.
What a statement would it be? So, as a casual fan, that would be really cool to see.
Okay. Who you got for the men's? If it helps.
Can I do?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up the Royal Rumble matches so you know them.
Yeah, because
this will help you.
They haven't labeled everyone who's going to be in there, but they've done some.
All right, that's the men's Royal battle. Then the women's, and here's who's actually.
Can we do like all of them too?
Do all who's in there?
No, like all of the matches. Pick our people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do the men's. We've done the women's.
Okay.
Okay. So the men's. These are the ones who. Oh geez.
They're the announced participants right now.
This is not good. Oh dear.
And the women's Rumble participants are these. So I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, and Kairi Sane is not listed as going.
She's
to be
not
there.
announced,
but she was in the one last year.
But here, 23 of the 30 though.
And she was in the one last year, so why not use her again?
Mm-hmm.
That okay.
That's exciting to actually see. Is that
you know what? You know what?
What?
I want Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
You know what? If Raw is gonna be a little shitty, let me have Drew as the Universal Champion and not Brock.
So now that you said that, I kind of wish I thought of it first, of Drew McIntyre being on it.
You can say Drew too.
I can't because
he's a hot.
Okay. He's
a hot Scottish piece of meat. That's me trying to straighten it up. I'm gonna start snorting here.
I heard it. My thought was Seth Rollins.
Well, yeah, because
it's a safe option.
Yeah, that is the safest option.
And God knows Raw needs anything. Sorry, WWE in general needs anything right now.
Fair.
So I had a feeling that they're just going to go
there. Drew and Seth. And Kyrie and Ember.
Yeah.
All right, so the Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor.
Oh, Brock Lesnar's winning that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It'd be cool if Finn won.
I want Finn to win, but Brock Lesnar's winning.
It's going to be
let's
All right, the Cruiserweight Champion.
Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto. And you're probably looking at this and going, who, and who?
I am aware of 3, and then aware that Buddy Murphy has been dominating.
Okay.
And then I have seen Hideo Itami, so I'm picking him, even though I don't think he'll actually win.
Okay. Who do you not know in this?
Akira Tozawa.
Oh, that's right. Have I got to show you more of him. He's the guy that I showed you before who's like, ha, 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 ha. And he also does like the giant senton off the top. Like he jumps straight up. Yeah. He's that guy.
Okay.
That's who he is.
But I haven't seen a full match with him. But,
So,
I think Buddy Murphy has been dominating, so he will probably win.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with Hideo Itami because I kind of liked him in NXT.
I would love it if Hideo Itami won that night.
He probably won't, but
Because, out of those out of those 4, Hideo Itami is the only one who has never held the title.
Aw, he should have it.
Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. I got Daniel Bryan. And I love Daniel Bryan right now. He's so good.
You know what? Perhaps controversial opinion. AJ Styles is really boring as a champion, as a viewer, so I'm going Daniel Bryan. He was super boring.
I don't think... As a character, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, that's fair.
He's he's fine.
It was just he's been champion for a year. I don't remember anything of his title reign.
Right, exactly.
He put on great matches.
Yeah.
The matches weren't boring, and he deserved to be champion.
I need more than good matches.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those.
Even something like JBL, where it's just he was a poor wrestler. He wasn't that great of a wrestler, and he had a lot of controversial finishes. I remember JBL's reign.
I never got to his reign. I stopped watching before his reign. I already hated him.
Wow.
And then I heard that he was a champion. I was like, what did they do?
Asuka, Becky Lynch.
Oh my god. This is the toughest one. This is the number 1 toughest one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could literally go either way.
And within reason, yeah.
You know what? You know what I would like to see?
Okay.
If they do this right, to get Becky to WrestleMania, I'd like to see Asuka win. But still get Becky to where she needs to be.
I love Becky, but I have Asuka in this one.
Asuka
is still the ass kicker I love.
Becky's doing fine without the title. Asuka, they messed up so badly that
I want to see
now.
Becky start a year with the title. You know what I mean? Like, she comes out of WrestleMania and she has a title in her hand.
I am literally coin flip. I'm honestly okay with either one. I think they're going to have a great match. And I would honestly be fine with either one of them. Now, Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks, the problem here is Ronda's not losing.
No. Sorry, Sasha. Ronda's not losing. Sasha, I'm bored. No.
And they've already ruined Sasha for me.
I loved Sasha 4 years ago. Sasha's so boring right now. I'm sorry. No, I'm just done with her. She's not interesting at all. She's not doing anything interesting. She's not a boss. She's just Sasha Banks.
I have never seen interesting Sasha.
And that's a shame because Sasha Banks is actually she can.
Now, if I had a preference, knowing like okay, I know Ronda's gonna win. My preference would be Sasha.
Yeah.
In between the two because I don't like Ronda Rousey.
But they've killed Sasha. They've killed her dead.
My father-in-law is an MMA fighter. I had all this like you mock Ronda Rousey in the MMA world, and now she's wrestling. I don't care about Ronda Rousey, but they're not going to let her lose to Sasha Banks. This is the most like we thought the who's gonna win between Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor. Finn Balor has a better chance against Brock Lesnar than Sasha Banks has against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So on to this tag bullshit.
The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus versus The Miz and Shane McMahon.
If WWE
The Miz and Shane McMahon are winning this,
is trying to rehab their tag division, which they need to, because you know I rage about the tag division.
Yes, you do.
The Bar should win.
Nope.
But I also know drunk bitches catchphrase, fuck every McMahon in existence. So there's a very good chance that they're going to win. And I will throw something that is not breakable.
Here's the thing that I think is going to happen. The Miz and Shane McMahon are going to win here. And then they're going to go to WrestleMania and then use that as a way to get somebody else over.
Yeah, because they have that kind of tension off and on again. So they could win, and then it's going to be this big thing. Oh, my God. And then they'll finally break apart to let someone win. Here's the problem.
Hey, listen, it's The Miz and the best in the world.
Here's the problem.
It's the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
Here's the problem, though. We got you, not casual fan. Me, casual fan.
We still identify.
We don't want to see this shit.
No, we don't.
I don't want to see Shane, Stephanie, Linda, or Vince McMahon.
I'm tired of them.
I'm so
fucking tired of all of them. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE United States Championship.
See, here's the problem.
There's no problem. Rusev's winning.
Well, they have fucked the United States Championship where I don't even care who wins.
That is also true.
Matter.
That is also true. You know what also means?
I like both of them.
By the way, do you know how much it doesn't matter?
They're on the pre-show.
Yes, you see that P? That means pre-show.
Yeah, they're on the pre-show.
Yeah, so who cares?
They don't care about this championship.
Nope.
These are both wrestlers that I like.
I like both of them. Love both of them.
I like both of them. They're very entertaining to me. They've already told me it doesn't matter. This championship doesn't matter to WWE. Why do I care? I'll say Rusev just because whatever. But it clearly doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that's the Royal Rumble 2019 predictions, everybody.
WWE, get your shit together.
They really need to. We'll do another wrestling
yeah, this is fun.
episode like this. We'll talk and shoot the shit about a lot of things. This is a recording.
This is not all us going to be talking about wrestling, but we both like wrestling, so it's probably.
It figured if we're gonna try this out, this was the thing we were gonna do.
Yeah,
that was fun.
It'll come up again.
Yeah, let's do this again some other time.
Yeah.
Not that we're not going to continue recording shit anyway.
We hate each other. We're never seeing each other again.
I will pile drive her into this floor. Bye.